I'm Sonia Falayon, and this is my YouTube channel, Mind and Manna. This channel is for women 55 years of age and older who wish to level up to a more intentional lifestyle, improving their finances so that they can live life with more freedom, travel, revolutionary rest, and ease. And I'm here today to talk about 8 reasons why you should not come to the Lakeside area of Mexico in Jalisco state of Mexico. So let's get started. The first one is, number one, if you are a woman who is wedded to your stiletto shoes and you can't stand life without high heel shoes, this is not the place to come. Many of these streets are cobblestone and with uneven pavement. And even with the best of sturdy shoes, athletic shoes, this is Mexico and it's pretty noisy. So even with sturdy shoes, the walking can be very, very difficult, and you have to be very, very intentional about where you're stepping and paying attention. Also, this is a culture that has a lot of reverence for dogs and cats. And you have to also be careful where you're walking because there's poop in the streets in places. So you have to have your eyes open and be aware. So if you have an unsteady gait, if you're wedded to stiletto shoes and you can't stand life without high heel shoes, the Lakeside area is likely not for you. You might want to consider I would never say don't come to Mexico, but you want to consider a larger community, a larger city that has more sidewalks and more paved areas. That would make your travel a lot easier. The second one is, as I have mentioned before, and as you may hear as I'm talking, if you are a person who needs a lot of quiet and stillness all the time, and if you really want to control your environment all the time, this is probably not the place for you either. Mexico is loud and colorful and boisterous. There are celebrations going on all the time. In the middle of every community, there is usually a large Catholic church, and the bells ring, sometimes on the hour, and they certainly ring on Sundays. They ring loudly and joyously. The water trucks make noises. The gas trucks make noises. The garbage collectors ring a bell every morning. There's a lot of noise, a lot of celebrations, cajotes, fireworks are going off, boom boxes, speakers in cars. There's really not always any noise ordinances, so noise is a part of the culture and the community. So if you really are a person who needs a lot of peace and quiet that you can control, I would not advise coming to stay here for very long. The next one is hair. If you're not accustomed to wearing natural hair, or if you have to have a perm every few weeks, if you're planning to stay for a while, if you are depending on certain hair care products, you either need to bring them with you or time your trips so that you can go back or have somebody send your products to you. But if you're a person who needs a certain hair care product every single day and you run out, you may have a little delay in getting your products. You may have to order them from Amazon or have somebody ship them to you. Not that there are not hair practitioners in the area, but they're few and far between, and it's certainly not like what you have at home. So if you're really hair dependent, you might want to plan your trip a little bit better, or maybe, like I said, go to a much larger city. The next one is American culture. If you're coming to Lakeside, and when I mean Lakeside, I mean the villages that surround Lake Chapala, and you want to recreate American culture, my question is, probably you should just stay at home and have American culture there. When you come to a new area, it's really the best thing to do, the judicious thing to do, the courteous thing to do, is to find ways to adopt to the culture. learn the language. At least make an attempt to learn the language. Um, Learn to go with the flow of the community. Things move more slowly, they move more, there's more of a flow. Um, and that's just kind of typical of with people of color who are more in tune with their environment, and time kind of flows around the activity as opposed to the activities flowing around time. And as you can hear, if you may be able to hear, there are church bells ringing now. So as I said, noise is part of the culture. So if you are not able, if you know that you're not a person who adapts really easily, and you know that you tend to be a little extra and have to have things your way, you may want to consider coming to a bigger city, or maybe coming to a different country, because when you're in Mexico, it's best to adapt to Mexico, the Mexico way of being. Try to fit in, become a part of the community. The people are patient and kind. They welcome newcomers. It's just, and it works best for everyone when we try to go with the flow. The next thing I wanted to say was, what did I want to write? Oh, monochrome. If you are a person who loves drab environments, neutrals, grays, black, white, browns, if that's kind of your color palette all the time, that's where you're most comfortable, that's your comfort zone, you may not want to come to Chapala or Lakeside or to Mexico for that matter, because it's a very colorful country full of textures and patterns, and as I said, sights and sounds. Even in the most obscure places, there will be color, there will be art, there will be creative expression. In the rainy season, there's just a splash of color, of vibrancy, of lush greens and beautiful purples and yellows and red flowers, and a variety of birds and sounds. It's just a lovely cacophony of color and textures and sounds. So if you know that you're not comfortable outside of that gray, taupe, black, white color palette, this may not be the place for you. What was the other thing I wanted to say? Oh, I know. If you're an ocean person, if you love the roar of the ocean and the big waves that come in and out, if you like deep sea fishing, if you're a deep sea fishing person, the smell of the ocean breeze, again, this is probably not the place for you to come either. Lake Chapala is a large freshwater body. It's the largest body of water in Mexico. It's about 50 miles long. At one time, in prehistoric times, and even, probably a century ago, the lake was much bigger, but 50 miles is pretty long. So when you are looking out on the water, it's like looking out into a vast sea. There are waves, tiny waves, and there is a small beach area from the sand that comes up from the ground, but it's not the same as a traditional ocean beach with the tide that comes in and out. It's a beautiful area, but it is fresh water, and it is a lake. So again, if you're looking for a lake with large waves where you can surf and go out on a deep sea fishing expedition, again, this is not the place for you. So those are the 7 things I wanted to consider right now. I'll come back at another time and share some other things, but if those things are going to bother you, then find another place to visit. But if those things sound like wonderful opportunities and things that you want to experience, please come on down. There is one more thing I wanted to say. If you know that you are a loner, you like being isolated all the time, you don't like community, you don't like social activities, again, this probably is not the community for you, because what is developing here is a very great network of social support, camaraderie. This is an artistic community. People work together, help one another, and it's not unusual to be asked to go someplace every day. Do you want to go to lunch? Do you want to go to the spa? Do you want to go swimming? Do you want to go out on the boat? Do you want to take a walk? Do you want to go on an adventure? Do you want to take a hike? You can always, of course, say no. But what I am saying is that the Lakeside area is very people friendly. It's very community oriented, family oriented. Elders are respected here. Children are respected here. And there's also a special place for animals. So if you have an aversion to any of those things, if you have an aversion to community or to animals, old people, young people, families, find a larger city or find another place. This is not for you. But if any of what I've said sounds good to you, come on down. If you are thinking about taking a sojourn for yourself to reevaluate your life and where you're going, and if you think that you might want to spend an extended time away from the United States and maybe explore a new community, I'm here to help. So that's all I wanted to say for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. I wanted to do this in less than 12 minutes, and I'm at 11:30, so I'm going to stop now. Thank you so much. Please, if this information is helpful to you, if it's been interesting, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And thank you so much until the next time.